Hey my friends, what is good? Derek here from Bomb Socks, back with another day of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So today we're getting into the book of Habakkuk. Yeah, I looked up how to say it, and apparently that's how you say it. So Habakkuk and his 3 chapters. Now, it's interesting to be able to see a prophet who has questions. Now, you get right into chapter 1, and it says, the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. So again, you understand the context. He's living in a time of wickedness in Judah. Look at verse number 2. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. As I was reading through that, before I even really started getting into this, my first thoughts were about Joseph Smith in Liberty Jail, which, again, in section 121 of the Doctrine and Covenants, you see that verse 1 where he says, O God, where art thou, and where is the pavilion that covereth thy hiding place? These have very much the similar vibe. And then I clicked on the word how in verse number 2, and it takes me right over to section 121. And so you can see the connection there. So as we're going through this today, I want you to think about maybe some similarities between the prophet Habakkuk in his difficult circumstances and the prophet Joseph Smith in his difficult circumstances, and perhaps the difficult circumstances that we go through with this. You go back to Habakkuk in 1 verse number 3. Why dost thou shew me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? Verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, judgment doth never go forth. He's like, why is this stuff happening? I love verse number 5. Now, before I get into verse number 5, you remember when Joseph Smith went through all of those questions that he had, the Lord responded with, my son, peace be unto thy soul. Thine adversity and thine affliction shall be but a small moment. And if thou endure it well, God shall exalt thee on high. You go back to Habakkuk and you go to verse number 5. Behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye shall not believe, though it be told you. Which is interesting. The Lord's like, I'm going to do some great work, and you're not going to believe the good things that I am going to do. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it in your days, and I'm going to show you that I can do some amazing things here. I think there's a great lesson for us. Here's the Lord saying, hey, you, I'm going to work a work in your days. Peace be unto thy soul. If you hang in there, God shall exalt thee on high. So I love the similarities between those two and the message there is for us as well. Now you go over to chapter 2 of Habakkuk, verse number 1, kind of that similar feeling. I will stand upon my watch and set me on the tower. There's that prophet who's able to see things, and will watch to see what he will say unto me. Verse number 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And this is one of those instances where I went to a different translation of the scriptures. This is the New Living Translation. Then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. I love that. When I think about that, I think about missionaries out there spreading the gospel. You know, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of those who publish peace, who share the gospel, and all of that. So make sure you write this stuff down, because there's going to be people who are going to share this message. In fact, they're going to run and share the goodness of the gospel. Verse number 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. I love that. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So here's the Lord trying to tell us things when we don't seem like we're going to see those blessings come, whether it's Joseph in Liberty Jail or the prophet Habakkuk or you and I, whatever it is. The Lord's saying, look, wait for it. It will surely come. You keep going through this chapter, verse 14 in chapter 2. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. What a great promise. We're seeing that happen now. Verse 20. But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. And there are some times where we just want to complain and be like, this is not going to happen. The Lord's never going to bless us. The Lord's like, look, will you just focus on the temple and stand still and see the salvation of the Lord? We've seen that promise so many times. So in the midst of all of this difficulty, as the prophet Habakkuk is going through, Joseph Smith, us, whatever it is, we focus on patience. We focus on the promises of the Lord. We focus on those covenants. We focus on that patience, that it is going to come. The earth is going to be filled with that goodness, and we focus on the temple. I think there's a lot of messages for you and I, and it's going to continue into chapter 3 as we talk about that tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for sharing these messages. We're so grateful, as always, that you do that. Check out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at BOM-BITES.com. And you guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Godspeed. Bye-bye.